Hi everyone, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So let's talk about the topic for today related to NIS, which is the law. A weird thing, this topic of law, because sometimes we need it, like we ask for it, and some other times we say, I don't want it, I don't like it. So it's like if we are going ahead with one leg and the other one behind. Of course, that law has nothing in common with that thing that we don't like about the law. So today we are going to speak and resignify what law is. Of course, that we can ask ourselves why in this week we are going to speak about the law. And that's clear because the past 7 days we have been speaking about the 7 laws of the universe. So why are they laws? So these past 7 days, we have been speaking about the 7 laws of the universe or the 7 principles. So let's understand first the difference between principles and laws. So first of all, principle comes from the Latin, which is primus, that means one, the first would be, and then caput, that means cap, that means catch, to grab, okay? So it would mean to take the first place. That is what it means, principle. So to take the first place means that everything that is principle is the origin of everything. So that's why the 7 principles of the universe represents that they are the same origin, that they are born in the same spot, the same place, the same moment. So as we have been speaking these days, the laws of the universe, the principles of the universe, were not one first, the other one later, and then the other one, and then the other one. No, they didn't appear one after the other one. They appeared all in the same moment, at the same time. So this is why they are called the principles, the 7 principles of the universe, because they are the beginning of the whole thing. But even if you are the beginning, if they are the beginning, doesn't mean that they are continuous in the universe. But these 7 principles start to repeat and modify the life of every one of us, ruling the life of everyone, of everything that exists. That is why they become laws. Okay, this is why they are laws, the 7 laws of the universe. So what is a law? Law comes from the Latin word leg. Leg means in European languages means to choose something. So this also creates the words like election. Election comes from there, to make an election of something. Intelligence, that leg is also there. College is also there, that word. So it means to choose something, to choose a path, to choose something. So so this means that that the law represents that there is something that different beings or different people choose as something real, like they choose something. So they choose something and they create a law. A law is the incarnation of that that was chosen by many. So let's go to the story of how a law begins. So let's go into the very beginning of how a law has been created. So for that, we have to go to the very origin of the humanity, when we were still living in caves. So Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, and we were just beginning as humans are now. So in that moment, what happened is that we were living in tribes. Tribes is the Latin name for groups of three. So a minimum of 3 people is a tribe, because it comes from the tri, that means 3. Okay, 3. So so this group of 3 or more people, but the smallest one is 3. This tribe, they need to organize in their cave, because basically they need to survive. So in order to survive, what they have to do is to organize themselves to make some tasks. So one of them will take care of the house, the other one will go and recollect, and the other one will go and hunt. So so this main organization, yes, this main organization is what they in order to accomplish this organization, they need to sit down and to discuss, okay, I am going to do this, you will do this, you will do that. Okay, so each one has its own task. So they organize it, they discuss it, they have a consensus about that. So that's the first law. That's the first law. So the first law is everyone will do this in order for us to survive. Okay? So when this law repeats itself for thousands of years, that's what we call a pattern. Something that we, some moment, we choose to do, but now we are not choosing it. We are not choosing it, but it keeps going because we repeat so many times. Okay, so that's how the pattern arrives to us. Like, for example, the man going out to hunt, so going for the resources, and the women staying close to the home to take care of the cave, for example. So here comes the pass of the times, and suddenly the tiny tribes starts to be bigger with much more people, so much more responsibilities. So when the group starts to grow and there are many people, they need to start to live in harmony. And the way they live in harmony is by being all together in a common union. A common union is what we call today a community. Okay, community is 2 words: common, union. Common is that everyone can share and be equals, has the same opportunities, and unity is that they all live in the same place together. So in order for this to work, they need to establish certain rules. Okay, so these rules that they had to establish, they are according to the place where they live. So they started to create these concepts and these ideas related to this environment and these people where you are living with. And in Latin, we call that modis. Modis is the place where you live. Modis. So the concept that helps you to live in harmony, in community, in that is what we call morality. That's the origin. So morality, the morals, are the concepts, the rules that helps us to live in a common union. Okay. So inside the morality, remember, morality is about to have some certain rules to live all together in a community. We have these two different other options, which are natural. Within the morality, we know we can distinguish what is good and what is wrong, but not about a subjective point of view, but from an objective point of view. And this means, for example, in a group that we are all together as a community, when someone kills someone, everyone knows that this breaks with a common unity. Okay, so that's something that is wrong, is objective. There is no sometimes that killing is fine or no, it's just like that. We know that this is wrong. In the other side, when you when you sow a plant and then it grows and you share the food and so on, that we say is fine. So we know because everyone is in need of eating, so it's something we need. Okay, so kind of we understand in that way what is good and what is wrong by nature, not by ideas. Just by nature, understand what is good and what is wrong. That in Latin we call it ius. Ius is what then we will call justice in English. So from there comes the concept of justice. Okay, is the balance between the things in one place. Okay, according to the life of one specific spot, you find this balance of the objective things, not the subjectives. So justice is related to morality, because justice is different in every region, because for every culture, the justice will be related to the morality of that place. And remember, morality is about to inhabit one spot. Okay, is the morade, is the place where you live, according to the place where you live. So then, after this, the community starts to grow and expand, and suddenly they create a civilization. So the civilization starts to expand, not more in just one small village, but now it's many villages, all connected by commerce and so on. But each one of them has a different morality because they live in different spots, but they're all connected anyway. So when all these people spread around the territories, suddenly they get to the point of chaos, because now they have different moralities, but they have no idea how to connect to each other. So this is like a mess. So here comes one day that they have to get all together and discuss about how can we live in harmony all together with different moralities. And this is how they create this assembly, you say, to talk, to discuss, to choose, to elect the new normatives. And these normatives are the ones that will go through the subjectivity, not the objectivity of the reality, but they will be subjective from another point of view, surrounding the whole community, all of the communities together under these norms, these normatives. And that's what we call a law. See? So, first thing, morality is something related to one place, to one culture, and related specifically to one community. The justice is the terms, the natural terms, objective terms that we understand what is wrong and what is fine. Okay. And the third one is the law, which is the subjective aspect that helps us to live in harmony, even if we don't share the same justice or the same morality. We can kind of live in harmony between different communities in different regions. So now let's go again to the origin of the universe, to the main principles of the universe again, where everything began. Okay, so this, in the origin, we have the mind. There is only mind. And this mind also will divide itself in a tribe. This tribe is a trinity that we call consciousness, unconsciousness, and subconsciousness. This is the main trinity. So this trinity are like different people that will have to choose different rules in order to be connected through the universe. And they three choose the 7 laws of the universe. So the principles of the universe create 7 laws through which the 3 aspects of the mind will be able to interact through the creation, so they don't get in mess. They are organized. So this is the same way in which we can understand how the universe has created the 7 laws according to how we humans created the laws. So now we will see this, that the laws of the universe are not something that are obligating us to do things. These 3 laws, the 7 laws, were decided, elected by my 3 consciousness: conscious, unconscious, and subconscious. So by free will, they choose these laws because they were connected all together. Yes? So, if they are not connected, if they are not in coherence, if they miss the coherence, we are controlled by the 7 laws. But if we get coherence and we get connected in the 3 as one, so we reach the free will again, and we become the judges. So these 3 consciousness This is why we are working so much with these three, the consciousness, the unconsciousness, and the subconsciousness. Because if they are separated, they are being controlled by the 7 laws of the universe. But if they get connected in harmony, in balance, you are the one being able to rewrite the 7 laws by free will. So the laws are not something that controls us. The laws are things that guide us during the process of being lost. So, what do I mean with rewriting the laws? The laws are the base of everything. So it's not about eliminating the laws. It's about to use the laws. For example, if I am vibrating very low, I will be conditioned by the laws of the universe to vibrate like this if I am vibrating like this. If I resound in that vibration. Okay? So I resound there, so I am still there. Okay? But if I become coherent, what I do is to choose the way in which I will vibrate. So I can vibrate higher and transform my reality. I can choose which vibration I will be in. So when the laws of the universe are using me, that's what we call a pattern. When I use the law, is what we call an election, is free will. To rewrite the law is not to eliminate a law and write a new one. Is to be able to use the law and not allow the law to use me. And the only way in which I can become aware of this is by being conscious. And how can I be conscious? By uniting the 3 consciousness in me. So remember, we have spoken about this in others, but remember, the conscious is the one that knows where it goes. The unconscious is the energy from the environment that pushed me to do something, and the subconscious is all the things that create me from inside, that makes me be who I am, and I cannot control. So what we call patterns in our life, they are not patterns, they are laws. And what this means, that we have chosen them. We have done the election. Through thousands of years, through our genealogical tree, our ancestors, everyone, in every incarnation that we had, every life, everything that we have done, everything was an election. Everything was a choice. So we have chosen everything, and suddenly what we have chosen became something that we felt it was right and protected us, and that's why it became a pattern, and we repeat it once and again. So it's not about eliminate patterns. What we have to do is to go to the subconscious to understand why we choose them. And then we take it to the unconscious to know where we use them, why we are still using them. And then we take that tool as a law and I use it in my consciousness. So this is why all of us have been working through all these years with so many therapies, trying to go within, trying to go to the subconscious to look for the patterns, why we have chosen these patterns. So that's why every therapy that you do, Akashic records, I don't know, biodecodification, astrological charts, anything that you do to try to understand what is happening within you, why you have chosen this, is because you have to see where you have done the choice. And there's when you understand that you are the constitution of all those choices that you call laws. All the laws that now we understand them as patterns, all this law were put together in the same place here and now, which in Latin we call constitution. Constitution. The constitution is this, when everything put together here and now. So the same way as an individual brought all these patterns, all this information that we create as patterns, but they were laws, they were elections, and then it constitutes what we are. The same thing happened in a culture. A culture creates a nation by all these laws and elections. And this nation constitutes itself in a constitution. Okay? And that creates a country. So it's the same thing. So here comes this idea that in the same way as an individual, has to go to the past to understand in the subconscious all the information that we received from the elections, the laws that we created in the past. So the patterns that we have, and now I understand from the subconscious and the unconscious, why am I using this? So I say I have to change this to transform myself. By the consciousness, this is changing a pattern to set myself free, to change, to evolve. The same thing happened with the countries. So I have to change my own constitution by changing the laws, the patterns that I have created. This means that the laws were not done to be something fixed. The laws were done to accompany a community, a common union of people that needed a way to survive. So in this way is how we have created the laws. So if the individual change and needs for that change to come, must transform the laws, must transform the constitution of itself. The same thing happened in the countries. We cannot have countries with constitutions that were written for a community in the 19th century. We have to recreate a constitution for our communities today, changing the laws according to our communities today. It's the same way in which we are healing ourselves, how we heal the countries. The laws are not there to be accomplished. The laws are there to help us to go through a process in a specific time, a specific moment. The law is a synonym of free will, because it means that we have made a choice. So the wrong thing with this world is that we lost our inner power. And what is power? Power is responsibility. And now we go to try to understand what is responsibility. So what is responsibility? Responsibility comes from the word responsabilità. So this means to have the ability to respond again. That's the meaning of the word. So what this means? That the responsibility is to have the ability to answer to what the world is giving to us. The world gives something to us and we give that back again. We respond, we answer to the world. With what? With our inner strength, with our inner power, the will. So when we activate the responsibility, we are taking our power out. But if we are not responsible, we lose the power. So so what happened? When a person doesn't have the ability to respond, starts to be afraid because doesn't know how to respond to the world. So it gives away its own power to others to take care. So when I give the power to others, that means that this other person will have now the responsibility. So that other person will have the option to choose over me. So because I have no idea how to do it, how to manage my life, I choose that person to choose for me the new laws. This is the way in which the systems of imperialism, monarchy, feudalism, dictatorship appear. In between the 15th and the 16th centuries, the free thinkers, they brought again from long time ago the ideas of republics and democracy. And they put that philosophy again in our time, but ruled by the feudalism. So this is why in the last centuries, people were talking about republics and democracy, even if it was never republics and democracy. The only thing that we have had during all this time was a liberal feudalism. So through all these thousands of years, not only these 200 years, thousands of years, we have given the power to them to choose over us. So they elected and they created the laws for us. And this is the thing that had created in the unconscious of the people the idea that the systems and laws are wrong. So laws and systems are not bad things, but they are being used through our lack of responsibility. And responsibility is about evolution, not revolution. The evolution moves forward. The revolution removes. this is why a revolution never really got to change the systems. The problem here is because in revolutions, we usually blame others for the things that happen. But nobody is guilty for what happened. We are the only responsibles of what is going to happen. So remember, it's not the laws that controls us. They are not the ones that control and are not allowing us to move forward. It's our irresponsibility that made laws into patterns. And don't worry, because we are going to talk a lot about this, because in the next weeks to come, we will speak about each one of the systems. So relax, because in the next weeks, for sure, will come out all the right wing of politics, the left wing of politics, the pro, the against, the many things. So I will get a lot of fun. So let's go now to the alignment. The vibration today is, the statement for today is, I am the branches of the genealogic tree. The code for today is enlightenment. The highest comprehension of the divinity, or the inner awareness of it, is the enlightenment. It is a concept searched by thousands of people that from a biological concept see it as a final objective goal in the path of evolution. However, it is an inherent state to who lives the physical life to the fullest, knowing that everything is divine, and that oneself is, knowing that everything is connected. Enlightening is not searching for the light, is remembering that I always was. So let's go. I think there were so many concepts today, but I guess they were needed to be spoken all together. Sit comfortable. Close your eyes and focus on the breathing. Take a deep breath and be aware of the place you find yourself now. Use your imagination to design a big library around you, full with books, galleries, and halls. I recognize that this library is within my subconscious, and each book is a registry, is a pattern that relies within me. This is my own Akashic records, and I am the only librarian. And I remember, I am here with an intention, which is to find the pattern, the book, where I can find the information of that law that controls my whole life and that I made into a pattern. I go through every one of those galleries until I find that book and take it between my hands without judgment. With this book in my hands, I head to the main hall, where this time I find there a huge tree. This tree represents each one of my ancestors, everyone who I have been, everyone that lives within me and through me. I get closer to the tree and I take one of its fruits. This fruit represents the whole history of everything that my ancestors have done. So it's my decision to kill it or eat it. Behind the tree, I can see the stairs of my unconscious, and above, the office of the conscious. I go through the stairs with the fruit and the book, willing to bring clarity to this pattern, to this law. I find myself surrounded by the light of consciousness, and inside I open the book, contemplating this law. Take a deep breath, and as you bring this book to your knees, begin to resound the vibration for today. I recognize that this law that became a pattern now, through my consciousness, can be used by me in my new life. This is a tool that I use. I use. I observe behind me the tree, and I recognize that in the fruit within me I find the information of all my genealogical tree, for I am the constitution of each one of the laws in its branches. I am the branches of my genealogic tree. I am the branches of my genealogic tree. I am the branches of my genealogical tree. I am the constitution of all the laws. Take a deep breath and bring this consciousness by caressing, stretching your body and yawning. And each one at its own time, open your eyes. So now, the task for today, you write down this law that we have created as a pattern and that we need to use again as a law in our life. Thank you everybody for being there as always, and see you tomorrow at the same time.